Marvel Ultimate Alliance. The game series that I used to play. The game series that I used to believe the best Marvel game series of all time. Okay, today we're gonna talk about Marvel Ultimate Alliance Free. The game series that the game that actually ruined the franchise. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 came out in 2006. It was a great game. I used to play this when I was on my friend's house. We used to play the first game on the Wii, and it was a Marvel game. I mean, this was before the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it was really a great game. Sure, it's not that good now, it's outdated, but it was a great game of its time. And then we eventually had Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Now, I know that basically it's either mixed by fans, but to me, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 is pretty much the better Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. The reason why is because, unlike the first game, this game actually and has a better story. I mean, this is more of a faithful adaptation of Civil War than that crappy movie we got. But overall, it was a great sequel. But then, after Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, we eventually had no Marvel Ultimate Alliance Free. Years have been asking for a Marvel Ultimate Alliance Free for some time. There were some fan trailers, there was some made-up, make-believe fan fiction, but then there were some rumors about it being cancelled. The plot says, the original plot was going to adapt Skrull Invasion. Now, most of you know that the second game adapted Civil War and Secret War. But we never heard from this Marvel Ultimate Alliance Free. That is until we eventually got the Marvel Ultimate Alliance bundle. In 2016, which was right around my first YouTube channel, Activision re-released the Marvel Ultimate Alliance franchise, the first two games, on the PS4 and Xbox One. The bundle pack pretty much includes every single content from the first two games, mainly the console ones from the first game, and just the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions of the second game. And this was a great bundle pack and remaster. This was before Crash Insane Trilogy, and we got a bundle pack / remaster of the first two games. There were some things going on with a Marvel Ultimate Alliance Free. Many people have been speculated if there's a Marvel Ultimate Alliance Free because of the bundle pack. But then, on 2018, last year, Marvel announced a game series that's supposed to be a comeback and return of the first two games. And that is Marvel Ultimate Alliance Free, the Black Order. Okay, I know that I'm mainly just nitpicking on Return, but Marvel hasn't even made great games for a while. Whenever it comes to sequels nowadays, Marvel likes to ruin it. Just mainly focus on MCU stuff. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was terrible. The only good thing about it was the concept of the two worlds merging and Ultron Sigma. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 sucks. It wasn't near to the first Lego Marvel game. Now, they're just gonna ruin Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the franchise. What's worse is that they didn't brought in the original creators. Now, for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, it was released and made by Raven Software and Vicarious Visions. For Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, it was made by Vicarious Visions. But here, they didn't brought in Vicarious Visions. Okay, now most of you would know about Vicarious Visions becoming... Now most of you would know about Vicarious Visions. They are the creators of Crash Insane Trilogy. But I know them as the creators of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance franchise. Here they just ruined this. And Vicarious Visions wasn't involved, nor Raven Software. Instead, they got in Koei Tecmo, who was the creators of Dead or Alive. But Marvel Ultimate Alliance Free was also made by Nintendo. The only reason why this game exists is because of Nintendo. Nintendo, this isn't your franchise. You can make a Smash Brothers game, but not a Marvel game. Look at Capcom. Now, I just have to talk about why I hate Marvel Ultimate Alliance Free. Well, not necessarily hate Marvel Ultimate Alliance Free. Mostly just how does it live up to the first games, like the first two games, or just bad? What I like is that they decided to come back and bring back several elements from the first game. Not several elements, more like a couple elements. They brought back the shield checkpoints from Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1. However, the only difference to that is that unlike the first game, where you can use it as many single content, like it's the only choice of bonus features, this game decided to make it more terrible. What's worse is that they already have a special content. Basically, they already have a special features in the main menu. Why do you need a checkpoint? There is one thing I do like. It's just mainly the costumes. No, not costumes, but when this game first came out, the costumes were terrible. They were just recolors. Then they eventually got DLC and got actual costumes. My two favorite ones is the Iron Man Extremis armor and the Ultimate Four, or outfit, which was from Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. So that's the only thing I did like. The problem is that it's now DLC. rather than the usual unlockable bonuses from the first two games. And then my problem is the art style. Okay, the art style is completely anomalous compared to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. In the first game, as well as the second game, it's more realistic, and it was the MCU before the MCU. And then we got... The graphics of the first game was pretty much PS2 quality, but the art style fit into the MCU. Even the second game, with its more realistic fabric. Here, if you compare it to this, if you compare it to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, the art style is too anime. Okay, can't you just make it realistic? I mean, Dead or Alive, which was also made by Koei Tecmo, had realistic graphics. Why did you make it like an anime? This isn't Marvel Anime RPG. This is Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And then lastly, the story. The story is just bland and unappealing. While they did brought in several actors that are the current voice actors, my problem is that many of the characters would act so stiff and odd. What's odd is that they not even managed to acknowledge the first two games. Why? There's a big of a problem. Well, the Guardians of the Galaxy weren't in the first two games, but they are established to be in the first two games. But here they're just pointless because of the fact that they had their own movie series. Nick Fury isn't even the Nick Fury from the first two games. It's the Ultimate Nick Fury. Okay, now I know that this is because of the MCU, but if you call it Marvel Ultimate Alliance free, then you have to make it a sequel to Marvel Ultimate Alliance, not making it an anime with MCU-style characters. There are some voice actors that I do like. They brought in Steve Blum and Nolan North to reprise their roles as Wolverine and Deadpool. They haven't reprised their roles in a long time. Yuri Lowenfeld is now the current voice of Spider-Man. In the first two games, it was Quentin Anton and Ben Diskin, but here it's just Yuri Lowenfeld. He's like the Josh Keenan now, and Travis William reprised his role as Thor from Avengers Assemble. My problem is that some of the characters, whenever they have is voice acting. Whenever they have a voice actor reprise a role, incorporate new characters, they act so stiff. Okay, now the first game had problems too. Mainly the dialogue. But I give it a pass because, well, it was mainly inspired by the old comic books by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. But in the second game, while they decided to make it more realistic, the dialogue was more heavy and story-driven, which I do like. The story was more story-driven. In fact, it acted more like a movie for once. Even though we had this is a sequel to a game series that was made at the time when Marvel was on their downfall. And that's about it. Okay, well, I do like the fact that While I do like the fact that they brought some good care, there is a bit of a problem. They make it more like some story-driven plot. It feels so dull compared to the first two games. As for my recommendation, I would just give the first two games more than the third game. While it has many problems, it's either mixed or average. Nowhere near to the first and second game. That's my recommendation.